From an elevation of 13,000 feet, amber eyes survey a landscape carved entirely by frost, an ancient empire predating human memory, guarded fiercely by howling gales and jagged granite. The Alps, deriving from an ancient Latin term evoking pure whiteness, stand as silent, towering witnesses that have watched over the continent since the dawn of primeval epochs. Oxygen grows dangerously sparse across these dizzying heights, while tempestuous drafts sweep over the exposed pinnacles, carrying the haunting symphony of an uncompromising, ageless wilderness. Upon these unforgiving crags, the golden eagle has maintained an unbroken vigil for millennia, presiding over its rugged domain with an air of untamed majesty. Boasting visual acuity 8 times superior to ours and spanning more than 7 feet across, this primordial avian lord dictates the high-altitude heavens with unmatched tyrannical grace. Soaring beyond 13,000 feet, it glides past jagged ridges, registering the slightest tremors along the precipice, like an immortal sentinel observing a captive realm. The instant a victim is located, those vast pinions retract, transforming the predator into a living javelin that plummets downward at a terrifying velocity exceeding 150 miles per hour. Just below the patrol route of this airborne guardian, against the sheer faces of seemingly impassable cliffs, an entirely different, soundless trial of survival is continually waged. The alpine chamois, acrobatic masters of the steep abyss, walk a miraculously fine tightrope, treading the imperceptible line that separates continued existence from a fatal plunge. Their hooves represent an evolutionary masterpiece. Stiff exterior edges bite into stone like steel drills, while pliable inner soles embrace uneven ridges, similar to an expert mountaineer's dexterous grip. Across these treacherous ridges, victory is never awarded to the fleetest runner, but rather to the one displaying unwavering stability amidst the most terrifying drops. These enduring stony barriers were sculpted over tens of millions of years of profound geological shifting, molded by forces beyond human comprehension. Around 100 million years in the past, the African landmass crept steadily northward, gradually crushing the primordial Tethys Sea until its waters were practically obliterated. The most spectacular phase of impact unfolded some 35 million years ago, when the immense pressure between 2 colliding land masses catapulted ancient seafloor sediments directly into the upper atmosphere. That colossal crustal buckling ultimately forged one of the most imposing and majestic topographical ranges present anywhere on our planet. Switzerland, acting as the steadfast custodian of the Alps, cradles within its borders 48 individual summits that pierce the 13,000-foot threshold. The imposing Dufourspitze commands the landscape at 15,203 feet, serving as the Swiss rooftop, reigning high above sweeping oceans of billowing cumulus. Moreover, the Matterhorn, arguably the most recognizable peak globally, thrusts upward, a jagged, stony blade aimed directly at the crisp azure heavens. We find ourselves in a sanctuary where the passage of eras appears to have been completely suspended since the fading days of the last great glaciation. Branding. Welcome to Nature Documentary 4K, where every single frame of footage serves as an unfolding historical chapter of the natural universe. This is the Alps, an arena where resilient biology etches its legacy upon the highest elevations of the old continent, surviving 4 brutally extreme climatic cycles. As the warming sun touches the Swiss alpine pinnacles, ancient glacial armor starts to fracture, releasing a surge of life-giving vigor imprisoned during the extended frozen lockdown. The heavy white blankets across the Swiss terrain finally surrender to solar radiation, liquefying into rushing torrents that carry the pent-up potential of the previous frigid months. From the sprawling Aletsch and Morteratsch glaciers, liquid plunges down sheer drops, weaving a complex web of frothing falls that rouse dormant biology within every valley below. Moving to lower bands, atmospheric temperatures normalize between 50 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, presenting optimal conditions for the broader ecological network to spectacularly burst into activity. Ranging from 5,000 to 6,500 feet, the subalpine tier undergoes a dramatic shedding. Naked gray boulders give way to tightly packed groves of pine and fir. Emerging from the depths of these ancient wooded canopies, the red deer makes its appearance, the most massive organism residing beneath the protective alpine foliage. Weighing a formidable 400 to 500 pounds, a mature bull stands resplendent within dappled light, loudly proclaiming his territorial dominance across the undulating slopes. The warmer months present them with a ruthless binary equation. Gorge adequately now, or perish inevitably once the heavy flurries inevitably return. Every daylight hour involves a frantic rush to devour tender shoots and fresh foliage, desperately seeking to restore the muscle mass depleted during the brutal frosty period. Atop the heads of the males, an astonishing skeletal expansion occurs, living bone tissue wrapped in soft velvet, where pulsating arteries continuously deliver vital building blocks. Flourishing pastures, heavily irrigated by glacial runoff, act as the primary calorie reservoirs needed to fuel the intensely violent breeding clashes on the horizon. Yet, hidden beneath the sprawling branches, this seasonal narrative extends far beyond the impressive red deer herds. Where solar rays pierce the canopy in golden streaks, the roe deer, a diminutive yet highly resilient relative, enters the most stressful and demanding phase of its calendar. Registering a mere 40 to 65 pounds, these creatures possess an astonishing limberness, allowing them to navigate effortlessly through the heavily layered mountain vegetation. Stretching from mid-July until late August, the bucks hit the frantic climax of their breeding cycle, a window where every single sensory nerve is completely dialed in. The most spectacular biological trick lies concealed within the female. An embryo fertilized during the summer warmth entirely halts its growth until December arrives. This pause, scientifically termed embryonic diapause, guarantees that offspring will emerge exactly the following spring, aligning perfectly with the maximum abundance of forage. Nutritious saplings and tender leafy growths sprouting everywhere offer the necessary combustible energy to sustain the exhausting, relentless chases undertaken by competing bucks. While the males remain obsessed with dominance battles, the doe channels all her endurance toward her most critical objective, safeguarding the incoming lineage. Mothers give birth to 1 to 3 young, meticulously hiding them amid thick shrubs or towering weeds, where spotted coats blend flawlessly with shifting light and shadows. They deliberately restrict their movements to dawn and dusk to dodge the heat, ironically, the exact periods when numerous other beasts commence their own desperate foraging. The roe deer are hardly the sole beneficiaries of the warm season along the woodland fringes. A master of versatility is fully occupied raising its next litter. The red fox, arguably the Alps' most cunning opportunist, kicks off the most frantically active sequence of her entire yearly routine. For the nursing female, these months represent far more than simple scavenging. It is an intensive survival academy for pups completely naive to lurking perils. Tiny cubs gingerly step beyond their earthen den for the very first time, their eyes wide with bewilderment at a chaotic storm of unfamiliar sights and noises. Supervised intently by their mother, they practice ambushing field mice, snatching darting lizards, and enthusiastically rooting out insects hiding beneath the woven grass. The vixen painstakingly imparts the auditory arts, detecting the faintest subterranean rustles, an indispensable talent without which they would swiftly perish before their first snowfall. Launching from a dead standstill, the fox can vault 3 feet upward, diving nose first into its quarry with a truly astonishing degree of lethal accuracy. Researchers have documented a bizarre phenomenon. When prowling through deep drifts or towering vegetation, these canines demonstrate a strong bias for attacking in a north-northeasterly trajectory. Numerous experts theorize they tap into the planet's magnetic grid, utilizing it to calculate the exact subterranean coordinates of unseen victims. Beyond fresh meat, they eagerly incorporate plump berries and wild woodland fruits into their meals, rendering them the most adaptable generalist eaters traversing the rugged terrain. This familial summer phase is an unbroken string of harsh tutorials, a brutal classroom where a single blunder can easily cost a cub its life. Vibrant biological energy saturates the subalpine zones during these lengthy days, serving as the ultimate testament that nature always insists on reclaiming its territory. Hyper-awareness, however, remains utterly essential because in this merciless arena, the tireless pursuer can instantly be downgraded to the victim's role,